Here today is going to be our Hydrobooster day. So the initial intention of today will be to get the Hydrobooster in position, button it down to the steering wheel brace, and hopefully bring in the steering wheel a little later. But the most important thing we want to do, we want to set up our master cylinder and our brake lines, which have been kind of a headache to us up until now. We ended up getting that kit from LMR. That was $50 to help us out with our Cobra transformation over, because we got the Hydrobooster, we got the 5 lugs, we got the Cobra brakes all the way around. The problem was that we were missing the brake line. We figured out what the problem was. LMR sent us a kit, and with that, we have another problem. So guys, we're gonna go through this real quick, and we're gonna show you what we're gonna do with our master cylinders and our brake boosters and stuff. So right here in our table right in front of me, I have 3 Hydro boosters set up. This is one right here is what we're gonna use on Staff Sergeant Reckless. This is from a 96-98 Cobra, and we picked this up and cleaned it up. We got a little bit of a clear on there. We have these are just the fittings. These are line fittings, as you guys can see. Now the reason that we're using this, it gives us clearance on the side of the pillar of the strut tower right there. It doesn't rub it up. It doesn't rub up against it, and it's gonna just have enough clearance for us to get into. Well, give us enough clearance so this won't be hitting on the side. The other thing it does, it raises all our lines to come to the top and over. We won't be having to go into the Hydro Booster and hiding them, or getting that mesh of just big rubber lines coming out the side. I think it looks disgusting. Although we will have rubber lines in there somewhere, they won't look as crowded or as just jammed in there. So this is our 96-98 Hydro Booster setup, and we're going to use this style.
And where does that come from? What car?
This comes off of 96-98 Cobra. So this is the Cobra setup, and as you guys could tell, like what we got right here, these two are the same. Show you why as far as for us, the 99 to 2004 Hydro Booster wouldn't work for us. And this is what we have right here. This is pretty clean. We got this, I'm gonna say, off of eBay. And I mean, they're not cheap, and one of the things that we keep seeing that they come missing with is this rear rubber boot, like our friend right here has. Now a lot of people say, well, that's not really important. I think it's important. I think it's a barrier and to keep water out and whatnot, but we keep missing it with this guy. For our Hydro Booster that we used on Sergeant Reckless, it had his on there, but the face of it was completely damaged, so I just took a piece of inner tubing, cut the hole around the corrugated part, and then just glued it and set a weight on top of it, which came out pretty good. It's going to help a barrier on the wall and not scratch it up completely. The problem that we had on our 99 to our 04 setup, as you guys could tell, it's a little different on just how it goes. Now, although it looks the same visually, there are some subtle differences, and this guy is just a little wider. And the reason I say that, you can see right from the back of it, as we go right here, you see you have this bleeder screw. He doesn't have it, but the width here is so much bigger. So he has this extra width coming this way, and so this Hydro Booster tends to hit on the valve cover on the driver's side to our Coyote. That's why we couldn't use it. Not only that, this box right here just made it really hard to finagle it in between the strut tower. That's why we're doing with this guy. Now he's a little thinner, and then we got the clearance using him. I could transfer this box over here, which will make it come out of this side, and then again I'll run into the issue of hitting the strut tower. That's why we're using this setup from the 96-98 Cobras, along with its 96-98 master cylinder. The difference on our master cylinder from our 96-98, a couple difference from the original one, is the original one goes side to side. 98 goes up and down. 96-98 goes up and down, and it'll sit just like that. So our plan is to get this bad boy on there, and one of the bigger battles that we're going to be facing is this brake line right here. Although we bought the kit from LMR, and they seem to say that it's a bolt-on kit to a 96-98 Cobra setup. The last line that goes here does not fit. It has the similar flaring and fitting as this, which is bigger, and this is the only one that fits. So this particular line comes off of our original stock kit that we bought, the stainless steel stock kit, also from LMR. And what I'm gonna do is give it a straightening and some good old flexology, you know, that is needed, and make it work for us. Hopefully LMR can help us out a little later, or you know, if it helps out anything, they'll end up fixing that problem and catch it before they send it out to somebody else and runs into the issue that we're running into. So enough of me talking and listening to my beautiful voice. Let's get to work, guys. Got room in here. All right, see if we could get this guy in place real quick. Uh-oh. There it is. Perfect. All right. John, you got some work to do, buddy. You have to clean all this up. All right. Let's get this race on back here, because this is the tricky part. I see. Like that. When I tell people I work blind a lot of times we don't have the ability to be able to look at it like I am right here. I got a clearer vision of what it is. If the dashboard was on and I had to remove this thing, a lot of times, imagine it, you have your dashboard, which will kind of kick it out right about to here. You have your seat, you have all this in here in the middle, and then of course your console, your steering wheel is right here. So now not only are you battling the seat, the carpeting, your steering wheel, you know, you're not gonna be able to see, and yeah, you kind of just work blind, and you know, that's pretty much how I work. But like, lucky for me right now, we don't have the dashboard in, and I'm able to see exactly where I'm going with this. So now I got that one in right. Let's come to this one. Now, when I installed this, there is usually this typically this little black spacer or plastic made out of nylon that they put on the back of the Hydrobooster. I've seen on a couple of them. So it goes on Hydrobooster, nylon spacer, then onto the firewall. You know, and I guess it brings up a little bit more of a rigidity factor up there. I think that it's pretty rigid as it is. But what I've noticed a lot of times when you add that, the plunger part right here tends to be really, really far back, which sets your pedal almost back here. I did not install it. And what I've noticed, a lot of people take off the plunger, they replace it with the Maximum Motorsport thing, or they make one that's a little longer, which to me it seems like really unnecessary, where if you could just remove that spacer, you know, we had it up here, you know, we just didn't add the spacer when we first did it. And let me see if I can get this bad boy up here right now, because it worked out fine for me. But now I can't get it up there. Well, I'll figure it out in a minute when I get it up there. But let me just finish tightening these down. Maybe an extension. Yeah, the extension gives me the ability to get in there without having my hands jammed up all inside there. Now the reason these are a little tough, we've been moving in this Hydrobooster in and out, had to kind of clean up the threads a little bit, but it worked out fine. So there it is. And then look, see? Oh. Now Obviously, if we need to change it out, then we'll address that when we get to that. But for right now, I mean, that thing looks great to me. And now we can just add in, we still need our brake switch up there, which we'll add that in a little bit, and we'll go from there. But for right now, the important thing is that we got to get in the steering wheel, and we got to finish up the wiring. That's important, because now that we got everything in place, we have our computer in place and everything like that, we can start buttoning this bad boy up. Wow. There we go. Right on that line. It's no big deal. It's just what happens. It's part of these custom builds. It's what you got to do. So that's all we're gonna do. Even if we take all three of them and bring them back down this way a little bit, it'll be fine. Just as long as we get some clearance with them. See, just like that. Bam. I can do it again. As long as we don't break them, we should be good. See, I just gave it a little bit more clearance. If I pull a little bit more, I know that I can get it out here enough that I can swing across. All right. Now we're gonna move into our master cylinder situation here. And I'm gonna need a vacuum because I'm gonna clean out these ports from our proportioning valve too, because they're full of crap. So let me go ahead and do that first, so I know I got clean proportioning valves and I'm not gonna be pumping crap all the way into their cylinders, into our calipers. Thinking. Okay. I think I should turn this off, right? Mm-hmm. This is gonna be the tricky part because he lines up right there. See what, let me bring it out real quick. I was wondering, let's see, we'll take this piece of paper off because I think it's just in the way, kind of. All right, let me see. Put this guy right here on the side. This guy goes in here. Now I'm just got everything kind of loosely in here because I want to make sure it all fits properly with what we're doing. It's a little tight. All right, there we go. That one's in. Alright, now, okay, so it's going to go something like this. It's going to push this guy out this way, and then this guy's going to come up into the master, and the master, of course, to our Hydrobooster. Now, what we were talking about with our 99 2004 Hydrobooster being a little wider, the pressure bulb here that goes here is actually sits right on this guy, which doesn't even allow you to get that bad boy in. So that's why we're going with the 96 98 Hydrobooster. It's a little slimmer. So now we got this guy in. Alright, let's see if we could get the nuts put on the master and put it on there. Or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should hold off on getting the nuts for this thing till I get it properly placed. There's that, simple enough. And now, here comes the hard part. Perfect. All right. Now here's gonna be our tricky part. Our tricky part, all we gotta do is tighten these guys up a little later. We gotta put the nuts back here on our master, which shouldn't be a big old deal. And then we can go from there. But, like I explained to you guys earlier, this is what we got from LMR. This is what you get with a kit. Right on this tag, it says brake line for Fox Hydrobooster 1980 to 93, 96 to 98 Cobra master cylinder. C forward. So it would sit like this, right? One to our master, which will sit in here like so, and which would be simple enough to mount right here, but unfortunately it's not the right fitting. So we're gonna have to go a different route. Our different route requires something just a little bit harder, because here at MCSC, you guys know, we hate anything that comes easy. Who wants to do that? Who wants to do anything easy here? Anyways, we're gonna take our stainless steel line, which is meant for the original master cylinder on a 93 Fox, which is stock. What I mean by that, I guess I keep saying original, but yeah, this is for original stock 93 Foxbody master cylinder. And the reason it's set up like this goes to your proportioning valve, and then it comes up, shoots right into your master cylinder. Okay, we can't do that with this. This has to come from the bottom up. One of the problems I see already is the distance. See how much difference it is? This distance is from my master cylinder to my proportioning valve. So I have a little bit of work to do. I have a little bit to think of, maybe. Maybe I could still use this if I cut right up here, put this flare right here, and then just bend this up and then stretch this up. Or I straighten it, and then I see what else I can fix. I think I'm going to straighten it and take my chances with dealing with that and instead of doing all that cutting. So let's get started. This I picked up from our good expensive store, Eastwood. It's just a line straightener. I didn't have enough money to buy that real fancy one with all the rollers in it, where it looks like you're doing this to it, whatever that is. And yeah, so you know, that one was like a lot, and I just decided to go ahead with this one. And, you know, it does the job. What else can I say? It does the job. Although I did break it. I broke the little clasp that goes in there, so I just added a little bit of MCSC ingenuity in there. Pretty awesome. I still got to do something better, but anyways. So it does really work really well. Like, as you could tell, it was just a little kink in there, and what I do, I just kind of rotate it around. Hopefully I can get it to really, yeah, see, it's not too bad. Yeah. You know, you got that little line right there. So what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to shoot for moving this one. I'm going to try and straighten it out upwards and kind of bring it back down this way. So I'm going to try and even these two out together. So I may end up stretching this out a little bit further. Just kind of that same C they got going on over there, just with a little bit of a pigtail at the bottom. So it is pretty much going to be a custom line at this point. So let's see what we can get done here. Hopefully we can get something done here. These lines are extremely tough, man. These stainless steel lines are no joke. They are actually really on there. They're really tough. So, you know, take your time with it. Don't get too crazy. Try not to lose your cool, I guess you would say. But here we go. Thank you, my friend Mano Negra. And here we go. It's almost there, guys. You know, so bear with me. There we go. A little bit better, right? I think so. Alright, we're not going to get too involved with that. So my initial intention now is to, you see what I got here going on? I think that if I straighten this guy upward, Like if I turn this guy this way, like a big C, like they did over there, and put this guy evenly kind of like upward with this, I think I'd do pretty good. So maybe I should just straighten the whole thing out. Let's try that. I guess wouldn't hurt, I guess. And then I'll just, you know, go from there. I'm gonna make it. Nope, that didn't work. Some of an angle, because it's really hard to do it. Let me see if I can get it like this. Okay, it's going little by little. There we go. There it is, a little bit more. Alright, let me do this guy right here. Alright, and I'm almost there. Let me see here. Yeah, these stainless steel lines, guys, are really tough. So almost. Okay. Okay, got that guy. Let me see. Boom. Battle, man. Battle. These things are tough. They're super tough. So, there. Now I got it. Really give it a good straightening. There we go. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So, it's like right there. I'm almost tempted to see if I cut it. I'm gonna try and bring it more this way and give it a little bit of a curve, so it's now almost up to the master right there. Okay, let me see, this way, would it work better this way? Okay. Okay, that's why it's good not to have a bunch of stuff laying around, because then you're gonna end up doing the wrong line. So I'm gonna straighten this line up. And I think I'm gonna practice a couple flares to make this bubble flare, and I'm just gonna take off this fitting right here, put it in here, bubble flare it, and put it on. I mean that's because if I look at my bends here, I cannot use this guy right here. So if I could straighten this out, it'd give me at least a great shot to cut off the tip and reset it, because this is gonna get a little ridiculous. But let's give it a shot, man, because we'll screw in. So I'm thinking if I cut it right around here and I flare it, I put the new tip in, and then I can just sit it here and kind of manipulate it to come this way for me, you know. Or let me cut that other one and I'll see what I need for that. Well, actually I need just the tip for that, so I'll have to cut the other one anyways, and swap tips. Nope. I'm just giving me a quick. Ivan! Do something like that.
I think we should.
I think something like this.
Huge.
Yes, we can. Okay. Garbage, man.
Anywhere?
Any garbage can. I mean, well,
You have to kind of cut it.
I think they'll make you cut it here. Whoops. Put this in here. All right. Locked and loaded. Now we gotta get it back in place. Meter blade. I'm kind of like inclined to do it like this because I don't want too much. As it is, we're really tight under the hood, and especially in this area where the proportioning valve and the master and all this stuff is at, it's really tight around there. So I want to keep this pretty close as possible as I can. Bear with me, guys. Nope. Don't seem to be doing it. Gave me a really tiny little guy right there. Alright, I'm gonna try it again. Try it, just give it a little bit more up than what I have there. Alright. Okay, trickeries with me. Because this line is really hard and you know, I don't think I got the best bubble flare on here, but I'm gonna have to make it do.
What you got, yeah?
So right now I'm just trying to get it to fit in here. And it's really hard because it binds up. So I'm gonna have to do something here, mold it as I go along, because she's really think I got it there. All right. Voila.
Bro.
And we made it. Now the only thing to find out is if actually that bubble flare I made is gonna work, because it's, like I said, it's a stainless steel line. It's extremely tough, guys. It's extremely tough. So believe me when I say I did what I could to get it on there, but it's on there pretty tight. So what I will do, I'm gonna go ahead and find the master cylinder nuts and install those and get this guy at least settled on there right, because I can see I got a little bit of gapping, and again, that's due to my lines here, because they're, you know, I'm working them in. I'm giving them a little massage therapy as I'm moving them around here, kind of helping them to get into position. So that's what I'm gonna continue to figure out before I start buttoning down. So before anything, I'm gonna go ahead and look for my two nuts for back here for my master cylinder and get these installed. Let's see what we got.
It's not
Nice.
tight.
Not, well, it's not tightened, but it's good because it holds it in place. I'm able to do. Let me see, Man, these things are tough. I'm not gonna lie. This just I'm trying to give this just a little bit more curve inward. Even though it's tight, it's not tight. But I'm trying to see if I can get it a little bit more inward. These stainless steel lines are no joke, guys. So if you get them, I just want to get them off of here so it's not really rubbing on that loop. And I think that we got it. I may take my second chance on that, on this making this bubble flare again, but I'm gonna do some practice hits first. But I think that this is done. Check it out.